Well, the Rangers will get their shot to extend their season, and that'll be coming up on Saturday night at Madison Square Garden. And shot is the operative word, because it sure wasn't tonight. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios. Rangers lose in Carolina 3-1 the final. John Giannone, Marty Biron, and Steve Valiquette. Rangers have 5 shots on goal in the first, 5 in the second, just 7 in the third, 17 for the game in a swing game 5. And not surprisingly, only 1 got passed on.
Everybody's asking, how is Carolina so dominant at home, right? It's been now 7-0 in the playoffs. And you look at game 1, the Rangers played a really solid 40 minutes of hockey, and in the third period, they had nothing. I think they had 7 shots on goal in the third period in game 1. Game 2, they had 21, and now in game 5, they have 17. That is not a lot of pucks that are getting to Antti Raanta. A lot of missed nets early in the game, but not even shot attempts in the second and third period. Very, very tough showing offensively by the Rangers.
I think what's more troubling about not getting the shots on goal is they didn't get the looks. You know, they didn't get the looks, guys. If you look at what Carolina had an opportunity, they did have looks. They had crossbars and posts, but they also had a 2-on-1 with Panarin back or in a 3-on-0. They had looks. I can't say that the Rangers had any looks. That's what's more problematic, because you could sit back and assess this and say, okay, how many shots do we have? How many were good scoring chances? 0, 0, and 0 across the board. That is probably the worst offensive output of the season for the Rangers. It
is the lowest shot on goal total, ties what they did once in the regular season of 17. But it does beg the question, because we look at it through a certain perspective. Other people will look at it through a different perspective. What was Carolina doing for 60 minutes that so limited the Rangers being able to do much of anything?
See, that's the question. I think that early on in the game, I thought the Rangers thought they were going to establish plays through the box, and they weren't getting anything through. And then they started to try some of that stuff they're not supposed to try at the blue line, and they weren't getting it through. Did they get to the neutral zone cleanly? There was a lot of punting again. There was no sustained pressure. Not enough shots on Raanta just to start their forecheck. I can't say that I was really impressed with anything they did offensively, guys.
No, I wasn't impressed so much with what Carolina did either. The one thing that I felt that game plan for Rod Brind'Amour's crew is that they played down low. They really worked the walls. They didn't really go to the front of the net, but they also wasted so much time where the Rangers, as soon as they got the puck, they were already on the ice for 35 seconds. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I'm getting tired. I got to get off the ice. So you just wasted a whole shift battling along the boards that when you get the puck back, you don't have energy to be able to create.
Yeah.
It's just, look, I think that's going to be a very much of a different game when they come back here for Game 6. But they're going to have to find, the Rangers are going to have to find a way to win on the road if they want to advance. And this should be a wake-up call and saying, you've done 3 times now, you've not been able to get a win. It has to change, and some guys have to really mind over matter in those type of situations.
And just 2 goals scored in the 3 games in Carolina. This had a feel, guys, where the team that scored first was going to be very much in the driver's seat. Yeah. And it took about 13 minutes for Vincent Trocheck to cash in, shorthanded, which is another particular killer for the Rangers, because, again, only 2 shorthanded goals against in the regular season, now 4 in the playoffs. Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? What really sinks a bench? It's when you don't score on a 5-on-3, it's a shorthanded goal against. These are really killers in games. And when you see a shorthanded goal, usually you're saying to yourself, well, we're going to lose this hockey game. Now, it happens on the first goal of the game, and the one read that I thought could have been made would have been, well, really 2. Shesterkin should know it's a right-hander going to the far post, and you can't lay down early on an outside pass on the forehand. The outside shot for a lefty stall, not a hard one for the goalie. Mm-hmm. You can give a little bit of pressure on the 2-on-1, but when you lay down like that, it's a clear view over. Now, it's a slower pass, so you expect your goalie to have a better chance there. I mean, you're kind of nitpicking a 2-on-1 the way you're looking at this hockey game, because it's the 2 best defensive teams in the NHL. Mm-hmm. And when you say that, you're getting low-scoring games. But in saying that, it's 2 different teams playing 2 different ways. Meaning, if we're going to say the best defensive team in the NHL is Carolina, it's because their defense is the best and their goalies benefit from it. The Rangers are the best defensive team, and they are second best because their goalie is the best goaltender in the league, and then the defense benefits from it. So it's a little bit different.
And just a couple of minutes before the Trocheck goal, you had a 3-on-1 with Lafreniere coming down the left side, very much similar to what Jordan Staal did. But Jacob Slavin, the defenseman for Carolina, waited until Lafreniere really got to the low ice, where room is really not an option to be able to slide and take it away. So when you do what Keandre Miller did, is you slide very early in the development of a 2-on-1, you're allowing Staal to really see the play develop, the defenseman sliding down and being able to really lay the puck over there on Trocheck, who finished it really strong. Look, Shesterkin could have had a better push, could have read it better, but to be able to slide it over the pad, this is a very nice touch by Trocheck, a guy that hadn't had a point, let alone no goals in that series so far.
Yeah, fourth of the playoffs for Vincent Trocheck. That made it 1-0. About 4 minutes later, Rangers get another power play, and this time off a rare faceoff win on a night where, again, they lost almost 60%. They're able to cash in. Zibanejad wins the draw and then wins the day by scoring the goal.
So I thought it was interesting hearing Brindamore on the bench hit, where he was saying, we've seen that look before. We knew they were going to run it. Well, Zibanejad chooses to get the faceoff on the right side of the ice because it's his strong side as a right-handed faceoff man. And he wins it, and they play catch up top, which allows him to get into his one-timer. Now he gets this shot off right away. He has help with Kreider in front, but he gets this shot off, and it's very similar to a goal that he scored earlier in the season, January 21st to be exact, in Carolina. So that's why Brindamore had seen it before. But oddly enough, the Rangers only had 2 goals on the power play directly off the faceoff this season. So it wasn't like they were scoring 15 and 20.
Right.
So that's goal number 3 in the postseason inclusive.
And they pointed out in the broadcast that when you're about to go on the power play, you get to pick what side you want your faceoff. So if you're a right-handed centerman, you want the faceoff on the right side. The other wrinkle that was changed a few years back is that the defensive center has to put his stick first down on the ice first. So Staal, in that case, has to put his stick down, and Zibanejad did a great job. He waited a long time before committing to the faceoff, which makes Staal sit there and wait and wait and wait. Won it cleanly, opened himself up for that set play. But, I thought at that moment, okay, I like how the Rangers are thinking. They're trying to put Carolina in uncomfortable positions, even right from the faceoffs, and being able to make it 1-1. But that was short-lived. As we know, the rest of the game really didn't go that way.
Yeah, so it was 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. Teams went to the dressing rooms. Rangers were outshot 11-5 in the first period. They were out-hit 12-4, but they were not outscored. Then came the second period and some crazy activity. Yeah. It could have been a lot worse than it was when you consider some of the opportunities and puck bounces that occurred.
There were some wild swings, and partly, you really get hurt by the fact that Strome scores a bad goal through the legs of Ranta, but it doesn't count because of the offside. And there were swings the other way, post crossbars. Fortune, luck, whatever you want to call it, but it's a tough one, guys, because you want to say on one hand, hey, we got off the hook on that one there. It was a point shot that was clear to the net from Aho, hits the crossbar, has Shesterkin beat, but this is the offside, and it goes 5-hole, and you're kind of saying to yourself, is this the turning point in the game? But the video comes back, and you can see where Strome touches the puck here as Kopp's clearing, and you can see that he's touching the puck, and it's a good offside. It's a good call. It's the reason why we have.
Yeah, and obviously on the broadcast, we didn't have a clear look at where Kopp was, but he was not in a tag-up situation, able to touch the blue line. Here's Trouba clearing the front of the net after Pesce had a chance on Shesterkin. How about this one with 3:15 left in the second?
On that one.
I mean, seriously, leaving a guy like Sebastian Aho alone in the slot, and then the Teravainen power play goal, some really good puck movement, obviously, by the Carolina Hurricanes to be able to open that lane to Teravainen, who puts it really nicely short side. But there was 2 posts by Aho. There was a 3-on-1 that was defended by Panarin. There was a 3-on-0 where Carolina didn't get a shot. So you're putting all of this together, and you're saying 2-1. Rangers are lucky to even be down 2-1 at that moment. So maybe they'll get the wake-up call in the third period. Hopefully that was going to turn it around. Didn't happen.